This is a special occasion. It's special because I appreciate and enjoy the opportunity to talk about what's been happening in the city of Douglasville. There are always new and exciting achievements to report, as well as information to share concerning improvements which currently are underway. It is also special because this is my final report to the Douglas County Chamber of Commerce as mayor of the city of Douglasville. I will complete 16 years of very satisfying service to the citizens of Douglasville on December the 31st, 12 years as mayor and 4 years as a city council member. I have enjoyed every minute of these 16 years, or perhaps I should qualify that by saying virtually every minute. But certainly it is no exaggeration to say that I have been blessed to have been elected 4 times by the voters of the city of Douglasville. Before making my 2011 report, I would like to thank the Douglas County Chamber of Commerce for working cooperatively and closely with our city government during my time in office. It has been a pleasure to serve with you and your successive chairmen down through the years, as well as with your executive directors and various board members. As some of you may remember, the city of Douglasville opened this downtown conference center in December of 2001. Now, when the Chamber of Commerce talked with the city officials about having a monthly business luncheon in this facility, I thought it was a great idea. I decided the city should make this space available to the Chamber at no cost because I felt it was a great way to keep our community leaders informed about issues of importance. And through City TV and the great service it provides, the taping and televising of these meetings has been a wonderful way to reach a much greater audience with information on topics of importance to the community, including activities of the Chamber of Commerce. By the way, one of the recommendations I leave for my successor as mayor is that the city continue to provide a place where these monthly meetings can be held in this location for the next year, and then in the new conference center now under construction just across the street. As I make this 2011 report, I want to address my comments to the audience of City TV as well as to the members of the Chamber of Commerce that are here today. I'll start with the City Parks and Recreation Department, where exciting things continue to happen. On October the 15th, a significant number of people gathered for the grand opening of the reconstructed Hunter Park. This is the City of Douglasville's largest park, and as many of you already know, it has been totally rebuilt. I continue to receive thanks from people who want me and members of the City Council to know how much they appreciate the planning for and the construction of these new facilities in Hunter Park. Let me list what Hunter Park now provides for children, youth, and families in Douglasville and all of Douglas County. There are 7 youth baseball fields, 2 girl fast pitch softball fields, a Miracle League field for special needs youngsters, a rebuilt press box at Webb Field, 2 adult softball fields with 14 batting cages, a 7-court ALTA certified tennis complex, picnic facilities, 4 barbecue pits, parking for some 650 vehicles, and 1.5 miles of paved surface for walkers. And there are playground facilities and a new and much larger community center. Funds from the City of Douglasville's 2002 SPLOSH program covered most of the cost of this project. During the planning process, the City Council and I decided we would not eliminate any of the facilities I've just listed. Instead, we would provide some additional money from the city's general fund because we knew this was the best opportunity to build a park which will serve this community for years to come. And frankly, I think that the City Council has succeeded. If you have not done so, I hope you will check out the new park facilities, including the new community center. I might note that the community center was completed earlier than the other Hunter Park improvements, with the grand opening ceremonies having been held on February the 1st of this year. I am proud of the city parks and the recreation facilities and their programs, including what we have at Davis Park, Fowler Field, and our neighborhood parks. Time won't permit me to talk about each of those. However, I do want to call attention to the city's West Pines Golf Club And while I can't promise that playing at West Pines will improve your golf swing, I can promise competitive prices and a golf course in very, very good condition. As most of you know, the city took over the operations of the West Pines Golf Club on July the 1st of this year, after terminating the contract with a private firm which had operated this course in the past. The city bought West Pines through the 2002 Splash program and used bond financing to reconfigure and reconstruct the old dilapidated golf course. I believe things are going very well at West Pines. Let me cite a few of those figures for you which I think demonstrate my point. Here are parallel figures for the months of August, September, and October of this year. For these 3 months this year, 6,115 rounds of golf were played, and this is 2,034 rounds higher than the same period in 2010 when only 4,081 rounds were played. Total revenues at West Pines were $188,622 for August, September, and October of 2011, which is $67,031 more than last year's figure of $121,591 for these 3 months. One final word concerning meeting facilities at Hunter Park and Davis Park, as well as West Pines. If you want information or you need to make a reservation, you can make the same contact, which is Jennifer Bean, Conference Center Manager, and that phone number is 678-715-6094. In fact, that's the same place you go for the Downtown Conference Center since the City of Douglasville has centralized its reservation system. And speaking of the Downtown Conference Center, let me point out construction of the new and much larger Conference Center and parking deck is now underway just outside our door here today. We expect the 2-level 300 vehicle parking garage to be complete and opened for your use next spring, and for the 37,000 square foot Conference Center to be ready for the 2012 holiday season. The new Conference Center will be the new anchor for downtown Douglasville. It was a key component of the comprehensive plan for the downtown area prepared 3 years ago, and I'm excited about how it will help attract people to come downtown, and while here to shop in our businesses and eat in our restaurants. Let me quickly note the ballroom will contain some 7,672 square feet and will be divisible into 5 separate rooms. The structure will include a full-service kitchen with the ability to serve the conference center when it's at maximum capacity. We will have a contract with a catering firm who will pay the City of Douglasville to be the exclusive provider of food and beverage services in this new facility. Please note, 2 separate weddings will be able to be held simultaneously, and each wedding will have its own designated pre-function space that will include outdoor photo opportunities. There will be a boardroom, 3 other separate meeting rooms, and an auditorium which will seat 150 people. Incidentally, the auditorium's design will enable City Council meetings to be held there if future councils desire to do that. Now, if you are so in love with the current Downtown Conference Center that you can't bear the thought of leaving it and scheduling your event in the new facility on Church Street, I have good news. We plan to continue to operate this facility with its warming kitchen so current caterers can still operate here. Construction and operating costs will be handled through hotel-motel occupancy taxes, user fees, and a state-authorized tax on leased vehicles. No property tax revenues will be used to fund this facility. My final word concerning the new Downtown Conference Center. Reservations are now being accepted for 2013. I do want to talk briefly about some other downtown items which I believe are important to all of Douglasville. We continue to have many special events downtown, including ONeill Plaza. Recently on Saturday, October the 22nd, we had large crowds for Oktoberfest. The So You Think You Can Dance contest was here also. The chili cook-off early in the evening and the moonlight run races were held that night. We started the day with a bike ride with a number of entrants covering the entire 100 miles from Douglasville into 4 West Georgia counties. Jazz concerts have drawn people to the plaza over the last few months. Recently, we have held farmers markets on Thursday afternoons. Parades earlier in the year were on Independence Day and Labor Day. And on November the 11th, we had the Veterans Day Parade. Coming up Friday night, December the 2nd, will be the Christmas Parade, as well as singing and other events, including Santa Claus. Another current construction downtown project is the long-awaited Plaza East project. With most of the funding coming from the Georgia Department of Transportation grant, the city is working to transform the old alley between the rear of ONeill Plaza and Campbellton Street into an area much like Plaza West with pavers, greenery, and a pedestrian-friendly atmosphere. Construction should be completed in the early part of 2012, and while I had hoped to see this project finished while I was still your mayor, because I had worked on it for so long, it's great to know that Plaza East is coming to its end. Of course, I am delighted that during my final year of my administration, the City of Douglasville was able to bring to conclusion a project which enabled the Police Department and Municipal Court to move out of very inferior facilities and move into the very impressive Public Safety and Municipal Court complex on Fairburn Road just south of I-20. The city government had sought for a number of years to find a way to provide modern facilities for the police department, and we're able to do this using general obligation bond funds authorized by the voters on September of 2008. On January the 27th, a ribbon cutting and grand opening ceremonies were held for the Public Safety and Municipal Court building. Using information from the 2008 needs assessment, this complex was planned and constructed. The 70,000 square foot main building has 3 levels. The main floor houses the Patrol Division, Records, Municipal Court, and prisoner holding facilities. The basement level contains special operations, evidence, property training, and the workout room. The second floor contains the Detective Division, Police Administration, Code Enforcement, and expansion space of some 3,500 square feet because we expect this building to handle Douglasville's law enforcement needs for the next 25 years. In addition to the main building, this 20-acre complex includes an auxiliary structure of some 18,000 square feet. The main level includes training facilities for the department and its community-oriented programs such as the award-winning Youth Against Violence and the Citizens Police Academy. In the basement is a modern firing range with 10 lanes. Also on site are police K-9 kennels, a vehicle maintenance operation facility, and additional storage facilities. I'm sure most of you know where the new Public Safety and Municipal Court building is located. The exterior is comprised predominantly of brick with glass and fiber-reinforced concrete accents. Designed in a classical style, I think this structure already is a landmark on Georgia Highway 92. Speaking of the Georgia Highway 92, let me talk about this major north-south artery through Douglasville. The city worked closely with the Georgia Department of Transportation to complete the expansion of Highway 92, which is also known as Fairburn Road, from the southern incorporated limits of Douglasville to the top of the hill where Chick-fil-A is located. This, of course, included the big new overpass bridge over I-20. The city received a grant from the Georgia Department of Transportation for a gateway project at this same interchange. This highway beautification project was completed and will be maintained by the city's maintenance department. Recently, the city hired a consultant firm to prepare a redevelopment plan for the new Georgia Highway 92 corridor extending from the southern city limit along this section of the road where many businesses were demolished as part of the road widening or were closed due to the disruption of their operations there. We want to be sure future development within this corridor is of high quality. The corridor plan also includes the current section of Highway 92 northward to Broad Street at the Norfolk Southern Railroad tracks, as well as along the planned relocated 92 from near Chick-fil-A through the shopping center where Big Lots used to be located, and then continuing north beneath the railroad tracks on through the north side until the new roadway ties with the current 92, which is now Dallas Highway, near Malone Road and the fire station. We believe such planning is very important for sound future economic development in the city of Douglasville. Let me note the Georgia Department of Transportation is continuing to work on the Highway 92 relocation project, with right-of-way acquisition currently underway. Actual construction is still a few years away. Another way the city government is working to ensure economic growth continues on the north side and in the downtown area is through the establishment of an urban redevelopment agency, which was recently formed. Also, the city is seeking funds to have a brownfield study conducted so we'll know what needs to be done to facilitate future development on such properties as the Douglas County Jail site, the old mill site on Broad Street, and other areas in the city. Due to time constraints, I'll simply touch on 3 other transportation projects. Work has started on the lighting and banners project on Campbellton Street and a section of Dallas Highway, with most of the funds coming from the Georgia Department of Transportation grant. Several sidewalk construction projects are getting underway with the Georgia Department of Transportation's assistance, including Arbor Parkway, a section of Stewart Parkway, Club Drive, Bowden Street, and a section of Malone Road. Now that a second intergovernmental agreement has been signed with the Douglas County Board of Commissioners, work will soon start on improvements to the Bright Star Road, Bright Star Connector intersection. Before I conclude this presentation with some comments about the very sound financial position of the city of Douglasville, I want to briefly identify the following important topics. Early in the year, Keep Douglasville Beautiful took the lead in redesigning Freedom Island. This was done with the assistance of several citizens, and I think they did a wonderful job. Then on September the 11th, we had a great crowd at Freedom Island for a special tribute and memorial service on the 10th anniversary of 9/11. On July the 1st, the city of Douglasville assumed responsibility for commercial sanitation services after having terminated contracts with 2 private garbage collection firms. We did this because we felt the city could do a better job, and while being more attentive to the needs of our local businesses. And while this was a small action in some ways, involving only a couple of jobs, we felt it was important to make sure our business community received the very best service possible. We also took steps in 2011 to improve our residential sanitation services, including providing recycled containers with rollers to replace the current bins. We do this on an individual basis, so let us know if you want a change made and you want one of these new containers. The City Council recently approved a new map to set the boundaries for the City Council districts for the next decade. We do this after each U.S. Census. At this time, we are awaiting approval from the U.S. Department of Justice. The new council districts will be effective in 2012. When I first became mayor, I had a number of goals, and I am happy and proud to say that each of these has been achieved. Overall, my goal was that when I leave my service as your mayor, I would leave office with the city of Douglasville in a better financial condition than it was when I became your mayor. And I believe that is the situation today. A key measure certainly is in the financial area. And I can tell you I am leaving the city of Douglasville government in a better financial position than I found it. In spite of a major downturn in the economy in recent years, which has resulted in a decrease of some 25% in receipts from the city's 2 largest revenue sources, that being property taxes and sales taxes. When I became mayor, the city had a fund balance of slightly more than $5 million. Actually, it was $5,144,598 to be exact. And currently the fund balance is almost $10 million. Actually, it's $9,955,760. So our fund balance has increased during this time by 94%. At the same time, the city's property tax for maintenance and operation has decreased by 18.6%. When I became mayor, this tax rate was 4.6 mills. Today, it's only 3.854 mills. And even during this tough economic time, when the other 2 local government bodies in our community increased their tax millage rates for maintenance and operation, this city council decided not to do so. During the past decade, the city's population has increased by 54.3%, according to the U.S. Census. But we have held the line on our budgets and on the number of city employees. To the voters of Douglasville, thank you for the opportunity you gave me to serve you for the past 16 years. It has been a marvelous experience and very satisfying. To the Chamber of Commerce, thank you for the opportunity to work with you. May God bless you.